Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday's episode of Rose and Carter Do the JOB. Today it's pay-per-view / big event day from July the 22nd, 2001. It's today, isn't it? July the 22nd. So, yeah, 19 years ago today. From the Gund Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. Invasion 2001. Did you watch it first time round? Did you watch it when it was new?
Yeah, and then I hadn't watched it again till like yesterday.
Yeah, I was exactly the same. But I really liked the Invasion shit. I like seeing the WCW and ECW people in WWF.
Yeah.
And I have fond memories of watching this from, first time round.
Yeah.
And now we've watched it again and think very differently.
Yeah, I'm a bit the same. I watched it. I think I was 18 when it first came out. When I watched it live, and then I just watched it yesterday. And I think the whole concept of it was a great idea, but the execution of it. Yeah, and I think as well a big problem was I think they had I think they were lacking a lot of star power as well. You know what I mean? The people that they could have had, and I think that was down to contracts and stuff. Weren't it being
some of the contracts were with Turner, weren't they? So the Turner contracts weren't really affected. It was the WCW contract that went to Vince.
Yeah, so it was like the Time Warner ones or something, weren't it? Because apparently because Flair ended up going in 2002, didn't he? Like a year later or something like that.
Yeah, I suppose that would have been independently, gone straight to WWF, though, wouldn't it? Rather than on a WCW / Turner contract.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but yeah, imagine if Sting had gone then.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say, because Sting obviously went not that long ago, many years later, but he would have been the fucking ideal guy to lead the whole lot, the whole ship. But that's I think the biggest downfall was who they had. You had with all due respect, guys like fucking O'Hare and Palumbo, instead of guys like fucking the Steiners, or you know what I mean, people that were still kind of around.
But to another degree, thinking about it from Vince's point of view, if he had the star power, he still would have put his boys over.
Oh yeah, no.
In one fashion or another. I mean, I know the end result of this weren't really WWF going over, and we'll get there in a bit, but it still got his boy over. Do you know what I mean? But originally, according to the Wikipedia, the show before this, the pay-per-view before this, was King of the Ring, and they were advertising Fully Loaded as the next one, but then due to the whole buyout thing, I suppose they swapped it to Invasion, didn't they? But it was originally advertised as Fully Loaded. Fucking big crowd, 17,964. So it drew regardless. But wrestling drew then. It was a really good time for wrestling. I remember even over here there was leisure centre sellouts.
Yeah.
So probably 1,000 over here was pretty fucking rare in most occasions before that. But, there's 10 matches all in. So without going into detail, but the dark match, which I didn't watch but I read on the wiki, it was shown on Heat. Just before it was Chavo Guerrero representing the Alliance versus Scotty Tuati. More on Scotty Tuati on Friday when we do Too Cool on Friday. And Chavo won that. So that's the Alliance up. They're winning so far. The pay-per-view starts with Awesome and Storm in the ring.
Yeah.
Versus Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
The main thing I've written for this one is expected better.
Yeah. I think this was it kind of improved as it went on. I expected better.
It didn't have your grips like most openers. When we watched the fucking house shows from 1986, those openers have you hooked from the fucking beginning, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
When this one, I kind of lost interest by the time it picked up.
Yeah, in fact, I'm sure I put something like, I don't know if it was this match, but I put there was a match. I'm just trying to figure out what one it was that I lost interest as well. Like it might have been the other tag or whatever. But yeah, this match I thought was all right, but considering who was in it, I was expecting more.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, there's at least 3 good talents, and Mike Awesome, who is. I mean, I'm not knocking Mike Awesome in any way, but he's just all right, isn't he?
yeah,
But perfectly adequate with the other 3 he's got round him. He could have shined really well. I've not written a lot, to be fair. Super kick from Storm to Edge. Christian takes out Awesome. Edge lands on Awesome after the fucking powerbomb G. Edge and Christian win.
yeah.
Am I there?
Yeah, I like that finish. I thought the finish was all right, and
yeah, the finish was the best bit.
Yeah, I thought it was weird that because like Christian kind of spears Awesome. I thought it should have been the other way around, where like being a spear, like Edge would have been the one spearing.
Yeah,
Christian.
a light heavyweight spearing the fucking beast that was just ECW World Champion.
And like the spear was one of Edge's moves as well, wasn't it? Because he'd done it earlier in the match, and I think they got like broke it up or something like that. But I put it improved throughout, but I think there was a lot of near falls as well, like for an opener, like a lot of like near falls. I remember counting and thinking, "Fucking hell," But no, it was all right.
You can't deny that there was no fucking dead bits.
Yeah.
I think I just, when you read it on paper, or the minute you see it and you see, fucking hell, there's 4 good ones here.
Yeah.
I think your expectations are higher than what actually delivers, and that's not anyone else's fault. It's, I'm sure the match was perfectly fucking adequate, but they're so good, aren't they? Edge, Christian, and Lance Storm. I fucking rate all of them really well.
Yeah, I do. I'm a massive Christian fan. He don't get the fucking props he deserves, to be honest. Like always, I think he was always kind of in Edge's shadow, wasn't he? Really, like realistically, like Edge was the fucking people look at him as being the star, but Christian was every bit as good in my opinion.
His best time was after he went to fucking TNA. When he came back after being in TNA.
Oh yeah.
He went to TNA, won the NWA Championship, and then he came back on his own.
Yeah.
He had a bit of a run on his target. He wasn't, utilised very. They put him on that ECW fucking knockoff show, didn't they?
Yeah.
But I think that was his best, his best period. Really, he was on his own. I love the Brood as well. Fucking Gangrel.
I love the Brood as well, but I loved fucking Edge and Christian. I loved it when they used to do all that comedy shit when they were feuding with the Hardys and they were coming out.
Yeah, for the benefit of those with flash photography.
Yeah, that was a really good period, I thought. And when they broke up round about the time Edge won King of the Ring, didn't he? Like I was pretty fucking gutted that like they split. I thought I know they did a lot, but I thought they could have just done a bit more before they fucking split. Because I was proper a big fan at that time of both of them, So yeah.
Fucking Christian with the big glasses on.
Yeah, it fucking cracks me up.
Yeah. Match 2, so that's ECW over. So WWF are winning that particular match. Match 2, what a fucking Matt classic this is.
Fucking
Earl Hebner versus Nicholas Patrick.
It's just like fucking Funk and Briscoe. This one, wasn't
it? There's no beats. Yeah. The referee was Mick Foley, and I've written in big letters the shits.
I've put terrible.
The WCW refs beat up Hebner for a wee while, and I thought it was right funny because Brian Hebner, as in Earl's son, was beating up his dad.
Right.
And then we're back to the spear again for the finish.
Yeah.
Earl spears fucking Nick Patrick. Have that son wallop. Nick Patrick used to be a wrestler, right? So I think he was wrestling worse than he could have done.
Yeah. Well, like deliberately.
Yeah. Like he did Mid-South TV and all sorts.
Right, yeah.
Because he's the son of the assassin.
Right.
Jody Hamilton's his dad.
Okay.
So it's kind of in his blood, and he did wrestle some. I've seen him on Continental, not Mid South, Continental, which I'm guessing was his area, like.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, not a lot to say here, really, is there?
Not really. It was just shit, wasn't it? It was like, guess you could use the entertaining word. The fans were kind of into it a bit. They were popping and stuff, but I think fucking they needed Mick, I think, in the match. Like really.
It wasn't too long, luckily, and it totally made sense to have it because they were having the two promotions against each other. So it did
Yeah.
make sense. It
Yeah.
just wasn't pretty. But if it would have been pretty, it would have been a wrestling match. So it would have been totally defeated the object of being two referees against each other. So
Yeah.
I knock it, but on the other hand, it makes sense to be as shit as it was.
Yeah, but I
Um,
mean, I really don't think like they needed it. Like obviously, like it made sense with the whole feud, like the rivalry and stuff. But they didn't really, and with 10 matches on the show as well, you really didn't need it. Like I don't, I don't think
or even if they'd have partnered them up with a
like a wrestler.
designated wrestler.
Yeah, that might have been a bit better.
Like what fucking singles have we got here that could have, like Regal and Raven, for example, right?
Yeah,
If Raven was with Nick Patrick and Regal with Hebner, jobs are goose on.
yeah, made sense.
Yeah, but yeah, that was that. Number 3, two championship teams against each other, non-title though. APA representing WWF and Palumbo and O'Hare representing WCW. Palumbo and O'Hare looked a lot better than they actually were. I've written,
Yeah,
I liked parts of this pay-per-view, but so far it's shit. APA squash Palumbo. Super kicks Ron Simmons. Miss JBL with a clothesline. Home. That is
yeah.
all I've written.
There's a couple of good spots in it that I actually like. One of them's pretty simple, but it's a pretty cool spot where Bradshaw catches Palumbo in the corner as he goes for a splash, and like he turns it into like a fall away slam, which I thought was pretty cool. Rather than just moving out the way or putting an elbow up or something, it was different. And then there's another spot. There's another spot that I really liked, which was like very good, where Farouk fucking Palumbo's got Farouk in a waistlock and he switches it. So Farouk's got him. Palumbo like literally runs down the ropes and then ducks, and then O'Hare on the outside nails fucking Farouk with a line. You know what I mean? Like so, he switches the waistlock and they're running down the line where fucking, where O'Hare is, and just fucking nails Farouk with the clothesline. That was quite innovative. A bit different. That was decent. But I've just
Palumbo in my opinion, Palumbo and O'Hare were too green to be at this level just
yeah,
yet.
they hadn't been around
They
for
would
long,
have held them off for a little while. They could have been fucking massive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because they came straight from the power plant, didn't they, to WCW?
Yeah,
Like they were there, and they were fucking. I think they were tag champs as well. I think they beat the Filthy Animals, if I remember right.
Like Palumbo did more than O'Hare.
Yeah.
O'Hare died now, isn't he?
You what? Sorry.
O'Hare died real young.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Which is fucking.
You what? Sorry.
Which is fucking tragic, really, when you think of what he could have been.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I think that he was so young. Palumbo did a lot more. He did shit with. Was he in the FBI?
I think he might have done. Palumbo
and
was in...
Billy, Chuck and Billy.
Oh yeah. Didn't he do something with fucking Piper in WWE like years later?
That was O'Hare, wasn't it?
Was that O'Hare?
Yeah, sure it was.
I don't know. Was it?
Yeah, I'm sure it was. So, in my head, I'm seeing Palumbo on a bike, a bit like the badass Undertaker thing.
He was definitely. I remember him doing that.
Yeah. So they both did bits. Palumbo did more, but they both did stuff. But nothing seemed to gel, did it? Because nothing stuck.
No, I have put in this match. Well, I've put the match was a bit dull, to be fair, and I've put out of the 4 because I'm not even a big Bradshaw fan, to be honest, but I like Farouk. Like I like Ron Simmons. Bradshaw, I could, take or, whatever. But out of the four, Farouk's the only one I'm kind of a fan of. You know what I mean? Like quite a bit. But yeah, I just thought the match was a bit dull, to be fair.
I can't say I'm not a Palumbo and O'Hare fan because I haven't seen enough, or they haven't been given enough for me to give them enough time. Do you know what I mean? I can't judge off
that might be it.
limited
Like, yeah. I mean, it's just the stuff I've seen. They're just, I don't know, they're a bit bland to me. Like nothing really stuck out. They looked good. They looked really good, but that's about as far as it went for me.
So far, 3 WWF matches have won. 3 WWF contenders. Match number 4 is, in my opinion, the best on the show.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I agree.
WWF Light Heavyweight Champion X-Pac versus WCW Cruiserweight Champion Billy Kidman. By far the best. This was a non-title match as well. Billy goes over in the end with a flippy flip. That is actually what I've written. Really, it was smooth. It was action-packed. It was well-timed.
Yeah.
I like both of these people.
Yeah,
I could happily watch them. The only bad Kidman match I've ever seen was when he was on with Hogan.
Right, yeah.
And next, I could watch all day.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I've put here. 2 of them are like really underappreciated workers because they're so fucking good. And you could even say Kidman's more like underappreciated because no fucker ever mentions him. I think X-Pac now gets a bit more mentions than he used to. Both of them are phenomenal. And when it comes to the high flying stuff as well with these two, like I'm not a massive fan of the flippy flip whatever, but I would, as high flying as these two are, I don't really class them as fucking flippy floppy shit. No. You know what I mean? Because they're very good workers. That, you know what I mean?
I think X-Pac is still very old school, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
He was raised in late 90s, late 80s, early 90s. He came from the Malenkos. He's done fucking global. He's done the little indies that, he's seen as, he's one of the old boys, even though he wrestles like a young'un. At this point, 2001, he must have done he's well into 12 years, 10 years.
Yeah, I think they said I'm sure they said 13 years because he started when he was young.
So that was 13 years, 88?
I think he would have been, how was he? I think he was 29 on this show, just turned 29 maybe, or something like that. But yeah. But no, he's absolutely fantastic, X-Pac. And Billy Kidman.
I did a show with Kidman in Wales once. It was quite cool. It was right. Yeah.
Cool. I was a massive fan. I was a massive fan of Kidman in the Flock. Like going back to them days.
I like the Flock in general, to be fair.
Yeah, they were cool. It was a cool concept, wasn't it? Yeah. Real good, different.
What was that? Perry Saturn, Reese, Scotty Riggs. Sick Boy.
There's that fucking Lodi.
Van Hammer.
Oh, Van Hammer as well. But they all started leaving after a while, didn't they? Van Hammer, I think, might have been the first to leave. Then maybe Saturn, something like that.
I don't think it was all at one time. There was people being switched in and out, weren't there?
Yeah, because I remember Saturn left and feuded with the Flock, didn't he? If I remember rightly. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's match number 4. Best on the show. Find it on the YouTube. It's fucking tremendous. 5 is the Commissioner, Regal, versus ECW's Raven. Massive clash of styles here, really. Both great minds and funny fucking people. But a real clash of stylies.
Yeah.
Raven suplex, not Raven, sorry. Taz suplexes Regal. That even flow DDT and Raven's over in the finish. I really like both of these people.
Yeah, I do.
I didn't like the match, but I really like both of these people.
Yeah, I've just put the match was okay at best. Like, You know,
Yeah.
it could have been more, but like you said,
This is
total class
another one of
style.
those when you look on paper and you think, fucking hell, Regal's brilliant, Raven's great, but together they just it just you know I could never knock either of them. I fucking love both of them. Their matches on the fucking worst ever day are still better than anyone's ever done ever before. Anyway, you know what I mean? Like there's fucking 2 million wrestlers in the world wishing they could be an eighth as good as either of these, but together it just wasn't for me.
Yeah, I think I agree. To be honest, it wasn't my cup of tea. I was quite intrigued to see how it went because I hadn't seen it since it was new, you know. So I was quite interested to see how it played out, and it was just a bit like that, like you know.
Number 6 was a 6-man tag with fucking two right mishmashed teams, aren't they?
Fucking,
Billy,
I think it was just who was left for the show and thought, right, we'll stick these six
like
together.
just chuck them all in one match. Like
Yeah,
Billy
yeah,
Gunn, the Intercontinental Champion Albert, Big Show were on the WWF team, and then on the Alliance team, Chris Kanyon, Hugh Morris, a la Bill DeMott, and Sean Stasiak of Meat fame.
yeah. It was weird because Albert wasn't this the time Albert was in the group with X Pac and Just Incredible. They were in X Factor, weren't they? It was
Yeah.
like a trio.
Yeah. Give
And
me everything I'd ever want, and I never take that back.
good song to be fair, I liked it. But
Yeah.
but Albert, you'd have thought maybe fucking have X Factor in a 6-man or something. Like, you know,
Yeah.
just throw Albert in there. But I thought this match was shit, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
it didn't. It was just six
Fucking
guys just doing
rotten.
shit. Yeah,
Rotten. It's what I've written.
yeah, I've put shit match at the end of it. But all I've put is jump start. I was never a fan of Hugh, and it's a shit match. That's basically what I put.
Yeah.
Like
The finish. Billy does the one and only fucking, his finish on
oh,
Sean
yeah.
Stasiak. Some kind of reverse DDT kind of G. Dead.
Yeah.
WCW over.
Yeah, no,
Big,
I thought it was
big
horrible.
Show chokes the spunk out of people afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't need it, did it? It didn't fucking need it.
No, you got 10 matches on the
didn't need it.
10 matches on the show, and you throw a 6-man together with
Yeah.
people that no one
Chuck
really
the
gives.
fucking referees in this.
You are?
You could have chucked the referees in this for comedy value.
Yeah, you could have, couldn't you?
Because even those referees doing a wrestle was better than the wrestling that these wrestlers did.
Yeah.
Like, fucking mad. Like, match 7 was Tajiri versus the Alliance's Taz. I fucking hate Taz in general, but I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, I put the match, not a bad match. I like Tajiri, not a Taz fan. I didn't mind Taz in the original ECW when he was built as a fucking monster, fucking killing machine. But
He's a monster killing machine, but he was fucking 4'2".
Well, yeah, but I mean, he just looked. He was menacing still. He was a fucking midget, but like he's a
monster killing machine. If he's wrestling Spike Dudley, anyone else fucked it.
But I just think WWE fucked him up because he came in with a lot of promise. He was the first guy to beat Angle, weren't he? Because Angle was undefeated.
Yeah. Royal Rumble, wasn't
it? Yeah. So he got off to a good start there, like kind of continuing from his ECW days. Then he turned into a fucking joke, and then a commentator, and he was just But no, not for me. But Tajiri, I really like a lot of Tajiri.
They put him in the tracksuit.
You all right?
You know, like Taz used to wear his gear, didn't he?
Yeah,
he was in a fucking tracksuit.
Yeah, that's
was that to cover up the fact that he's a fucking midge?
Yeah, it's strange, but you know.
But yeah, Tajiri, you were saying. Sorry, mate, I cut you off.
No, Tajiri, I'm a big fan of Tajiri. I like Tajiri. When Tajiri done that whole fucking run with Regal, that was some of the best stuff I'd fucking at that time. It was fucking hilarious.
A lot of Chris Jericho in that as well. Chris Jericho shined real well in that.
Oh yeah, with his fucking besmirching and all that lot. That was
in the teapot.
Yeah, but I think going back to Regal, he was always good in them fucking roles. Like he'd do stuff with Tajiri, with Jericho, with fucking Eugene, like years later, and it just proved how.
Regal's a comedy man, isn't he? So
Yeah.
I don't mean comedy wrestling because I don't think that's a thing. It's just funny wrestling, isn't it? But like because Regal's a fan of old British comedy.
Yeah.
You know, he said himself that he got a lot of his his facial expressions and shit from a lot of the old comedians.
Yeah,
And he
and that's
knew comedy timing from being such a fan of fucking Les Dawson and Morecambe and Wise and people like that.
yeah, and that's the thing though, like because if you like Regal's character is actually like a serious character. He's like that fucking posh snob. So it's quite a serious character, but then he takes elements from all this comedy stuff, mixes the two, and it's a perfect match, isn't it? Like you got a bit of everything. Brilliant.
I love him. So the finish, Tajiri, it's Taz with a missed kick home. Simple finish, but yeah, it's possibly the best Taz match I've ever seen because I'm not a fan of Taz in any fucking promotion. Didn't like him when he was the Tasmaniac. Didn't like him when he was the world's tallest dwarf. Not a fan. From there, they go to Bob Holly in WWF New York.
Oh yeah.
Bobby gets pissed off at the dude with the WCW t-shirt on, which I thought was fucking funny. Made I lol, that did.
Yeah.
Number 8. Hardcore title. Jeff Hardy versus Rob Van Dam. Not a fan of hardcore wrestling in general, but WWF at this time kind of did like a hardcore light version, didn't it? It wasn't hardcore like Ian Rotten hardcore. It was fucking, it was a bit Memphisy. I quite enjoyed this.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it was quite. Did you say it's quite a long match, this fucker? Because it felt like pretty long, like for a hardcore.
I quite enjoyed it. It was fast paced. It was action filled.
Yeah, it was different from other stuff on the card as well. Like
it wasn't over the top hardcore shit. It was, it was relatively. I'm not going to say sensible. That's the wrong word because, fucking diving off ladders and shit isn't sensible. But it was the most sensible hardcore wrestling could have been at this period in time.
Yeah, there was some fucking pretty sore looking bumps in it.
Hardy off the ladder onto the ramp over it, and fuck me, oosh.
Yeah, and fucking and the sunset to the outside on RVD as well. That's a fuck. It's not high up, but fuck me, that's a thud. That's gonna kill your kidneys. That is. But I enjoyed the match. I mean, it was quite flippy and a bit of a spot fest, but I put at the end it was decent. Like
Jeff, it's the DDT on Van Dam's Salad was fucking beautiful.
Oh, Van Dam is fucking. I actually like Van Dam. He's I always thought he was good. Like everywhere I've seen him, I thought I was quite enjoy watching him. To be honest, he again flippy.
He's not really changed. If you see him more recent years, he's still able to do the shit. At whatever age he is, he's got to be 40s now. Doing all right,
I watched this fucking thing on YouTube literally about 20 minutes before you rang, and it was the weirdest fucking situation that you'll ever see. It was Rob Van Dam in a hotel room with a Heart Foundation, just like literally. I don't know how long ago it was, quite a while ago, but I'm sure they're all high because like fucking Van Dam's on the bed. And Bret Hart's on the bed with a book in his fucking just reading some shit. And then at the other end of the room is Jim Neidhart just standing up. And it's like I'm fucking imagining it. Like, I was like, what the fuck is it's only like a minute or two long, but it's such a bizarre fucking scenario.
And what a mad combination of people to be in a hotel room.
I didn't even know
where would they have ever crossed paths?
I was just going to say, I don't know where they'd ever fucking meet. Like, it was bizarre as fuck, but they were definitely on something. But,
the finish of this 5-star frog splash from RVD on the belt on Jeffrey. End of. Lovely jubbly. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like 3 matches I enjoyed on here. X-Pac and Kidman was the best by far. Then Taz and Tajiri, and then this and number 9. We're one before home now. Number 9, Bra and Panties. What a Mac classic this is. You tell it's a Mac classic because they bring out Mick Foley again, and he only referees the fucking. He's like NCAA him, isn't he? He only referees the very best. You've got Tori Wilson and Stacey Keibler versus Lita and Trish Stratus. I don't get I love women as much as anyone else, right? And they're all very lovely women. Don't get me wrong, but I don't want to see bra and panties.
No, do you know what I've wrote here? Right, this is a fucking something that befuddles me. I can't get my head around it. Right, so we got a bra and panties match where you need to fucking strip your opponent so that they're fucking in the bra and panties. Now, the people that are losing the matches and are showing the bra and panties to everyone,
I know where this is going. Yeah.
acting like they fucking don't want to be in that situation. But then previously on Raw and SmackDown, they're walking around with their fucking knockers out anyway, showing the bra and panties to every fucker in the crowd. Why are they going to act like they don't want it?
The curtains are out. They don't give a fuck, do they?
Yeah, it's
They wear less to wrestle than they do fucking get down to.
Pretty much. I mean, in my eyes, there's no difference to wearing a fucking bikini than bra and panties, and they're strutting around. Cause it's just a fucking different material, realistically. But fucking idiotic. And at the end of the day, you can just easily watch porn and be a lot more fucking satisfied. So to me, it was pointless, like absolute pointless. 10 matches when they could have really been 7 or 8. But.
I've written WWF over, as in the fucking Lita and Trish team.
Yeah.
WWF over, couldn't care less. It's nothing against them because the talented girls, Trish and Lita, I really like them as talents, wrestling talent. Tori and Stacey, not them even, but
this was before Trish was fucking because she went on to be a fucking real good wrestler. Like I think this was kind of before she was as good as she became, but still, I like the work in that. But at the end I just put it's different, and then I just put bollocks.
This had fucking longer than some of the matches did as well, when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Fucking, it just I don't know who the fuck was booking at the time, but no. Anyway, fucking match 10, main event, the inaugural brawl is what it was fucking being advertised as, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The WCW, the Alliance team was DDP, Booker T, Rhino, Dudley's, and they were with Steph, Shane, and Heyman.
Yeah.
WWF's team of Kane, The Undertaker, Kurt Angle, Austin. Am I missing someone off this fucking list? Yeah, I've only got 4 there.
Who did you say? Taker?
Kane, Taker, Kurt, and Austin. There's 5 on a team, isn't there? Who am I missing?
Yeah. Angle. Oh no, he was on the other one.
Kurt, Austin, Undertaker, Kane.
Kurt.
No, he was on the Vince team, wasn't he? Because the long and short of the finish was the swerve.
Yeah.
Fuck knows.
In the WWF.
Yeah.
Kane. Jericho.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, in my notes I put CJ to Rhino through the table, put Rhino through the table, but I didn't write him on the fucking actual match at the top. But Vince was with them anyway, so it's Kane, Undertaker, Jericho, Kurt, and Austin with Vince. Pretty good, but there's a lot going on in this, isn't there? Because there's a lot of people.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of times I thought that shit was going on in the ring and shit was going on elsewhere, and it was kind of a lot to take in.
Yeah, this is the actual match, actually, that I was on about earlier, where I said I kind of lost interest towards the end. There was a lot going on, and it was just like, I was like, my attention span was like, what the fuck? Like, trying to keep up with everything. It was quite a long match. So, yeah. But Yeah, I did put a lost interest towards the end. So
Yeah, because like at one point there's DDP and the Undertaker in the crowd, which takes the heat off the ring, and they're still fucking going on in the ring. And you from home you can't see it all. If you're live, you can't see it all. So are the people there losing interest as well because they can't see what the fuck's going on? Yeah, Chris Jericho puts Rhino through the table. Kurt takes out Shane at one point. The ref's dead. But long and short of it, Austin does the swerve and fucking joins the old WCW alliance. What a bastard.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Poor old Kurt. Fucking Booker goes over on a dead Kurt. But poor old poor old Kurt gets fucked over by his mate. Brutal.
Oh yeah.
Savage. Yeah, I remember loving this years ago. But now I'd quite happily pick. Well, there's three I enjoyed, and one of them I could probably live without. Two of them I could probably live without. X-Pac and Kidman. It's worth buying the fucking video just for X-Pac and Kidman, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. If I was to put a fucking DVD of like, let's say 20, 30 matches all together, I'd probably have that one, that Kidman. It's just different. It's different. It's a real good match. And like, I can't really fault anything about it, to be honest. I mean,
Just so X-Pac and Billy Kidman get a royalty check, everyone should go and buy the fucking DVD.
they should.
Fuck the rest of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that. I had higher hopes than I did. But, if I enjoyed it when I was younger, when I was more of a fucking modern day wrestling fan, then it clearly did the job. Much as we knock it now, that was just how wrestling was then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
If we were to read a review from what happened, from somebody that was reviewing it fresh, they might have put it over to the fucking hill.
Well, it's funny because whenever I hear about people talking about this pay-per-view, it always goes two ways. Like either somebody says it's shit or somebody says it doesn't get the recognition it deserves because it's better than people say it is. But I'm leaning towards more of it was shit because a lot of it.
I am now, but if you would have asked me a week ago, I'd have still put it over.
Yeah.
Because a week ago, I was watching it in 2001.
Yeah, well, I can't remember my initial reaction to it, my initial thought. Like when I remember watching it all them years ago. I don't remember how much I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm sure I did, but I couldn't have enjoyed it that much because I can't remember, you know what I mean? But I just know that I've not watched it since then, and it's probably, I feel it's a bit worse than it probably was back then, to be fair.
So next Wednesday, when we do a show review, we got something a bit different, because it's not like a pay-per-view or a fucking big TV show or anything. It's one of them we found, like yesterday, we found a load of fucking German house shows.
Yeah.
So we go it's August the 1st, and it's from Munich, Germany, from 1993. Hogan and Yoko's the main event, and I'm really quite excited for it because I didn't watch it yesterday for this reason. Because I watched bits of the WCW ones and a couple of other German house shows, but we've watched a shitload of house shows that were done for TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like back when it was on more regionalised TV, like the New York ones and stuff, haven't we? But this is just like a fucking handheld fan cam kind of camcorder gimmick.
Yeah.
So I'm really quite excited. I mean, the quality is even all right considering that's all it is.
Yeah, because a lot of them handheld things are shit, aren't they? A lot of them are quite shit, but like quality-wise.
German talking around it, which I'm sure I can. The card looks really good. I can't remember it offhand, but Yoko and Hogan's the main event, so that's next week. It's a little bit different, isn't it? And people can still go and see it because it's on the YouTube. Friday is Too Cool.
Yeah.
Monday is Lanny Poffo, and then next week we're off to Germany. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Invasion. Buy the DVD so X-Pac and Billy Kidman get a royalty, but don't watch it. See you Friday.